Lately, I have heard horror stories of people that have been under contract for houses, trying to purchase a house, and without knowing all the information, they ruin it. They end up either getting denied before the process even starts, or they're getting denied during the process. A lot of people don't realize that you can actually be denied for the home loan once you're under contract. A pre-approval does not guarantee your home. Even having your loan underwritten does not guarantee your home. And today, we're gonna discuss the 10 commandments of things that you should not do when purchasing a house. Before we get started, my name is Daniel Solis. I just want to welcome you to the channel. If faith and finance is something that you find very important in your life and you want to see videos related to that, make sure you smash the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel grow, and we appreciate you being here. So let's get into this. What are the 10 commandments for purchasing a house? And when I sit down with home buyers and I am going through buyer consultations, not only do I get to tell them about all the great things it means to purchase a house, but I also have to go over a lot of the things that they should not do, the things that you're not thinking about. And things that you shouldn't do when you're purchasing a house can be defined as the 10 commandments of things that you should not do. So let's go ahead and check out number 1. Maintain employment stability. Well, what do I mean by maintain employment stability? Don't switch jobs. One of the things that can happen when you're in a home buying process is maybe you get offered a different job, but maybe you're relocating and you have to switch jobs. All of these things need to be talked about when you're planning on purchasing a property. One of the worst things that you could do is switch employment during the process, because it creates a necessity to verify income, to wait for those pay stubs to start. Maybe you're not even starting the job for 30 days. Well, it's going to create this opportunity for the underwriter to ask you for more documents, because we need to know how much money you're going to make so we can make sure that you're going to pay back the loan. Here's another thing that I see people do all the time is they will either switch from a W-2 job to self-employed, or they'll go from self-employed to a W-2 job. Both of those scenarios would require extra documents to show why and how you're going to be receiving income. I have watched buyers go from being a W-2 employee and then switching to become self-employed and working for themselves. And while that sounds amazing, during the home buying process, it is not amazing, because typically you need a 2-year history of being self-employed. Make sure you're staying consistent with your job, that you're not switching jobs, that you're not changing employers or doing anything that could jeopardize your income. Number 2, refrain from making major purchases. And what do I mean by a major purpose? Well, I'm talking about that new truck that you wanted to buy. Wait. Maybe it's that Tesla. Please wait. If you are thinking about purchasing any type of furniture for your new house, wait. If you are purchasing a new vehicle, please wait. You do not want to make major purchases when you're in the loan process. And even on signing day, when you sign those final documents, still wait. You have to make sure your loan is recorded with the city or the township that you're in before making any major purchases. Don't buy anything big, or it could ruin your chances of getting those keys. The third thing, use your credit sparingly. It's okay to have credit cards. You should have credit, but don't go spend a ton of things and charging it on your credit cards to prepare for buying a house. A lot of people get excited about the home buying process, and what they do is they go spend money. Make sure you're not charging a bunch of things on your credit card thinking that you're gonna hide it from an underwriter. You don't wanna do that. You wanna make sure that you're doing as little financial movement as possible during the home buying process. All right, the number 4th commandment, preserve your closing cost funds. What does that mean? Well, if you have money set aside to help with your closing costs or your down payment, make sure you're not spending it on things. Again, I have seen a number of people get excited about purchasing a house and they go out and they spend the funds thinking it's not going to affect their loan. Anytime that you're moving money in and out of an account when you're under contract for a house, it can raise a red flag for an underwriter. Make sure you're not spending the money that you saved on things that you don't need right now. Number 5. Disclose all financial obligations. We're gonna find out. And what do I mean by disclosing all financial obligations? It means that if you have debt that is not disclosed on your credit report, you wanna make sure that your loan officer knows. Because when we get your bank statements, we will be able to see reoccurring monthly payments going to certain creditors. especially in today's world where you have accounts like Affirm or Buy Now, Pay Later. And it tells you that it's not a hard inquiry on your credit. It's true. But here's the reality. When we get your bank statements and we see multiple payments every single month to an Affirm account, we have to count that debt against you. It goes towards your total debt. So be upfront with your loan officer when you're getting qualified to make sure that we have accounted for all debt obligations that you do have. Number 6, don't open up any new credit. So it's very easy to start shopping for furniture. Maybe you're purchasing around the holidays and a big department store says, well, if you open up a credit card today, you can save 10% on your purchase. Doing that will trigger a red flag to the underwriter to question what new debt you have obtained during this process. Do not open up any new debt when you're going through the home buying process. We will get notified and we will know if you're opening up that new debt. So please refrain from opening up any new accounts, even though it is very tempting to save that 10 to 20% when you're purchasing new clothes and stuff like that. Number 7, limit your credit inquiries. This goes along with the previous one. Anytime you run your credit, it's called an inquiry. And when you do an inquiry, it alerts us that you were doing it. So even if you're thinking about stopping for a credit card, or even if you think that you want to purchase something, don't fill out any applications that's going to run your credit. Now, I do get asked this, well, what about Dominion Power? Or what about a power company, Verizon, or some utility company that needs to do a soft pull on my credit? Is it going to affect it? It's not going to affect it. That is something that we know is going to happen, and you're okay to do the soft hit. But always, always, always make sure you're checking with your loan officer before you ever fill out an application or run credit during the home buying process. Number 8, talk to a loan officer before any large amounts of money get put into your bank account. What do I mean by this? Some people decided that they want to be able to receive gifts from maybe a family member, maybe a friend, maybe your employer. I don't know, but sometimes you can take these large deposits and put them into your bank account thinking that you're going to help out with money for closing. Anytime that you bring money into your bank statement, we need to know about it because we have to verify where the funds come from. And I know this sounds complicated, but it's very easy. And there's very easy steps that we can do to pre-plan any large deposits that you may receive. Maybe it's an insurance claim coming in. Maybe you have a trust that you're getting distributions from. Just make sure before you move in any type of money, you're checking with the loan officer first so we can give you a list of the documents that we're gonna need in order to make sure that large deposit comes from an approved source. I know it sounds simple. Just make sure you're not moving a bunch of money in and out. It'll save you tons of problems during this process. Number 9, keep your existing bank accounts. I know you may not think about this one would create a problem, but if you move money from one bank to another, it can create an issue in verified funds. We want to see that you have an established bank account that you've been using and that you have money in. So don't switch your bank accounts in the middle of the process. Don't go from one institution to the next. Keep everything in the bank for at least 30 to 60 days prior to even being pre-approved for a home loan. But once the money's there, just leave it. Number 10, don't co-sign for any loans. I know that you're in the home buying process and maybe your child has come to you and said, hey, will you please co-sign for me? I want to purchase my car. You're thinking, well, co-signing, it's not my car. Yes, it is. On paper, it is. Don't co-sign for anything. Don't add yourself as an authorized user for anything unless you're told to. Co-signing for loans can also destroy your debt to income, and it could potentially ruin the whole process and prevent you from getting those keys. So today we've covered the 10 commandments of purchasing a house, things that you should not do when buying a home. If you follow these guidelines, you give yourself the best chance to purchasing a property. Now, is every loan guaranteed? No, it's not. But you want to make sure that you understand these 10 principles and you do not do them when you're purchasing your house or even beginning the process of purchasing a house. If you stuck around to the end, I just want to say thank you. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button and the bell icon for when we release new videos. But remember, keep these in mind when you're purchasing a house.